G'day, welcome to another episode of Eagle Review. Better Times joining you this way, 94-point victory, that'll probably do it. Good result against the Demons, although not entirely locked up by half-time. Tom Roach, you're out of here. Matthew Jett, welcome to the hot seat.
I'm back. I finally returned to Eagle Review. It's been a long time coming. I know you've all missed me. And Steve Bandy, you're exactly right. How good was it to have a 94-point win? A little bit slow going out of the gates. Yeah, Melbourne were pretty spirited during the first half, and but finally, start of the third quarter, everything started clicking into place.
Big match against the Blues this week. Everyone's looking forward to it, especially the senior coach.
We're treating Carlton as though, well, on what we know, which is they're playing pretty good footy. They're a good team, and it's going to be a real challenge again for us this week.
Geez, I can't wait to finally kick off this show when it's not led with an injury headline, but unfortunately, we're at it again. Andrew Embley, very sadly, he's going to miss 2 to 3 weeks. He's torn part of the ligament, or band, if you will, under his foot, known as the plantar fascia, Jeppy.
Yeah, look, it's disappointing. It's tough news because he missed a fair few games in the pre-season throughout the NAB Cup. So, look, they plan to have him up and running next week, so he'll be back out on the track and be able to keep his fitness up. And it may be a good opportunity for someone like Matt Rosa to step in, who's going to have a run for East Perth this week.
On to better news, list manager Craig Vozzo just chalk another win up in his column. He's re-signed, along with others at the West Coast Eagles, Chris Marston, up till 2016. Excellent work, the 6th-year midfielder really coming into his own. Highly touted at pick number 3, Jeppy, so finally good to see some excellent result from him.
And what better time to announce that you're signing on to the end of 2016 than after having 39 touches with a little bit of leather poisoning against Melbourne. So look, he is in a great spot. He's averaging 30 possessions on the season so far. I mean, that's absolutely fantastic. And it's good to see that Masto's groin and leg injuries seem to be a thing of the past. They used to plague him a little bit early into his career, and now he seems to be over them and just running beautifully on top of the ground.
He's pretty happy about it. Have a look at that picture in the corner, him hugging Scully. Yeah. He's thrilled about his contract extension. Look, fantastic to see a couple of stars out on the park for us. Daniel Kerr having his first hit out against the Melbourne Demons. He ended up racking up 19 disposals before he was subbed out, a minute's restriction, of course. And Mark Lacroix just missing the one game with a fractured forearm, really showing some guts with his 3 goals and 17 disposals.
Look, it was really good to see Curry play about 53% of the game time when he was out there. I mean, for a bloke returning from serious injury over the off-season, it was great to see him get out there and not have any issues whatsoever. He's looking pretty good for a 30-year-old bloke, I reckon. And just having him in the midfield really, frees up our other midfielders. He gets the top tag. People like Shuey, like Gaff, like Masto obviously get to run free, and that's what happens. And Lecker. I mean, he's just returned from his knee injury. I think everybody had their heart in their mouth when they saw him go down against Freo, clutching his arm. Coming off with it in a sling was one of the most disappointing things I've seen already this season. So I think it's probably the footy gods throwing a bit of good karma his way and allowing him to return from injury so sprightly.
Look, when you boot 27 goals in a match, unless you've got Glassy and co sneaking down there for a couple of cheapies, fair to say some forwards are going to shine on a day like that. And shine they did. We got blokes like Darling, Kennedy kicking 5 apiece. JK in the lead for the Coleman with a couple of others, very impressive. Little Hammer bobbing up for 3, and big man Dean Cox also joining it with a tres. It was excellent to see so much scoreboard power.
Yeah, Thumper, JD and JK, they're just an impressive duo. I mean, they didn't get to play a lot with each other last year, mainly because of JK's ankle injury. It kept him out for so many games. So finally, they're getting to start to play together, and look at the results that are coming up. And it's not just on the offensive side, it's the defensive side as well. I mean, the pressure those guys put on them inside the 50, chasing, tackling, bollocking the defender out of bounds. It's just absolutely amazing. And they're getting goals directly from those turnovers. So it's just a great thing to see. They have amazing agility for guys of their size.
Look, the highlight reel for veteran star Andrew Embley is certainly growing, but not necessarily in the right direction. This is just freaky how this is coming about. Jeremy Howe has taken this absolute ripper mark over whack on the MCG on the weekend. And Howe was running with the flight of the footy, which made it all the more impressive. And it's not the first time that Embley's been posterised like this.
No, it's not the first time. It's becoming a worrying trend for Andrew Embley, I reckon. If you can remember back to, I think it was 2003, Andrew Walker took an absolute blinder on top of Andrew's head. He didn't manage to hold on to it, but it's still an absolute highlight reel special. And then you've got, who can forget, Ashley Stampy's wonderful mark at the MCG. Andrew Embley probably had the worst view in all of Australia for that, sitting right under Samps as he took it.
That's right. Good friend and longtime teammate Dean Cox just comments on just what a weird subject it has become.
Yeah, well, I was only about 30 metres away, so you know, Embers was a good stepping ladder. He's just lucky. He's just wrapped that he got in the paper for another photo, but it wasn't of him doing anything good. So
obviously, very sad news travelling around the footy club this week. Everyone going to be wearing the black armbands for this weekend's game. Obviously, the loss of Will Schofield's beard really hit everyone pretty hard in the change rooms. Raised a bit of money for Me No Hair, Jeppy. Ended up getting close to 15,000 from the Cancer Council. A great effort from Sky.
It is a great effort from Sky. The thing I found interesting, I was standing with him moments before Bo Waters got the clippers out, and he told me that he was more nervous in getting his beard shaved than he was running out to play against Freo. He would prefer to be on the park playing AFL than losing the beard.
Understandably. I mean, Bo Waters has cut him with the razor, so...
He pretty much force-fed him the tip of the Morris Mead blade, so that wasn't very good at all.
Unlucky. Magic moment time. Very hard to go past a goal of the round nomination. Cal Sinclair, just his second game in, very tidy snap from the boundary. Get behind it and vote, please, people.
Mine, it's probably not going to make too many highlight reels, but every time he does the ninja flip, I'm going to pick it as my magic moment. It's Jack Darling. Just see it again on the weekend.
Yeah, he's on fire. He's got quite a reel.
Yeah, he does.
5:40 this Saturday night. That's bounce down. Big game versus the Blues. Let's have a look at the teams now. Coming into the side this week, Eric McKenzie off a couple of week layoff with that hamstring. Brad Dalziel, exceptional game in the Waffle after playing as a sub the previous week. And Jacob Brennan, the late replacement for Bo Waters, who ended up doing a calf in the warm-up. Going to be 1 to 2 out. Unfortunate. Andrew Embley, as we touched on, and Mitch Brown, very stiff. Came in and played his part very well, Jeppy.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be an absolute belter of a game. The Blues winless. If you'd have picked that at the start of the year, you wouldn't. And West Coast really aiming to get back to that 500 mark and win 2 on the trot. I want your match winner. Kick me off in a good start.
Match winner, I know a lot of people are talking about this. I'm going with Scott Selwood. I reckon they're going to team up to do another close-down job on the ex-Eagle Chris Judd over the weekend. He's had him dead to rights every game we've played Carlton the last couple. So it'll be very interesting to see if he can go back to negating a player, stopping his influence, and maybe kicking a few goals himself.
Excellent work. Keeping with the midfield theme, I'm going to lock in Matty Priddis. He's averaged 29 disposals the last 3 times he's played the Blues. Carazzo ended up holding Joel Selwood to 14 touches. I have a feeling he'll go to Luke Shuey. I think a lot of teams think there he's most dangerous, so Pritter really needs to stand up. Carlton's defence very leaky at the moment. Plenty of goals being scored, and it starts with those mids getting it in deep. Thanks for joining us on the review. Thanks for joining us, Matt Jepp. I hope you enjoy your game experience.
Well, I hope I enjoyed a lot more than I enjoyed the last home game. Check out the seats that I had. I mean, have a look at that view. I can only see half of the ground. I feel like I only watched one half of football.
Hopefully you got a better view this weekend and you enjoy the game. We get a W.
That's it.
Nice work.